Welcome to When the Womb Speaks, a podcast created by the Sanctuary of Sophia. Hi, I'm Angie Twiddle, founder of the Sanctuary of Sophia, and joining me is my co-creator Kerry, a womb practitioner, facilitator and priestess. In these sacred conversations, we open space to listen deeply to the wisdom of women's wombs. Because when the womb speaks, we listen.
So hi, welcome to another episode of When the Womb Speaks, We Listen. And today I am joined by my womb sister, Elise Dagsdatter, who is a fellow human being, womb lover, circler, writer, and the carrier of the medicines of trust and unconditional love. So welcome, Elise.
Thank you so much, Kerry.
So nice to chat with you today and to connect with you again. First of all, to start, I'm quite curious in the description and the introduction. You've put the word circular to describe yourself, and I'm really intrigued by that. What exactly do you mean by a circular?
Yeah, it's been a really long journey for me to land any kind of label and any kind of, at the apprenticeship, we were also asked, what is resonant within you? Is it priesthood? Is it this? And I've gone from a so far away with this because it's been so clear to me for a really long time that what is true is that I am. So for a long time, I couldn't really feel that it was true to put anything behind it.
Mm.
And I was wondering, I was questioning a lot around this. And then I realized my reluctance to want to put anything behind I am was also a reluctance to embrace the human that I am, because I was very connected to the eternal part of myself, the part that I am, the one I am. But I was not embracing the human. I struggled with my humanity.
Right.
And now it came so easy when you asked me, the question was introduction, and it flowed through very easily. And I had not been thinking about it for quite some time. And circular came to me because I resonate very well with the spirals of life. I really experience that I circle in life, I spiral in life. So I'm a circler. I like a traveler, but I'm a circler because I'm not traveling to anywhere. I am already home, but I circle in this life with the spirals of life.
Yeah, I love that. So thinking back then, how can I ask, whereabouts is it you live? Where are you?
So I'm in Norway. I live in a valley. So I moved to a little village 2 years ago from living quite close to Oslo. But even when I was living close to Oslo, I was living in a little cabin outside in the woods. And we were living quite off grid also when I started the apprenticeship.
I remember,
I've been living on a sailboat. So I've been very much like living close to nature for many, many, many years. Actually, my life has been taking me to live simplistically. Also, I lived in the bush in Africa for a long time.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I lived in South Africa for 6 years. 6 years, South Africa was my home.
I can't imagine how amazing it must be to live amongst the nature in Norway. I've not been, I've only seen pictures and videos of friends. One of our womb sisters, Trudy, recently or last year went over to Norway. I'm sure Trudy will be on the podcast in the near future. But the videos and the pictures that I've seen, it's just incredible. It must be amazing living there.
I find there's so many beautiful places, but what I really enjoy with this part of Earth is the seasons. We have very, very clear seasons, and it's four of them. Or even you can put many more. But yeah, I'm starting, the more I connect to the land, the more I feel that there are so many seasons within a season. But I also very much enjoy that it's so much land and not that many people. So I feel that the nature is very much alive.
Yeah,
Mm.
amazing. Very different to the environment that I'm in with today. I'm hoping that it's not coming through on the microphone, but I've got workmen outside my house and it's very noisy and very industrial here today. So that whole the picture that I've got in my head of all the waterfalls of Norway and the trees up the mountainsides and the fjords, oh, it just feels like heaven to me at the moment where I am in Wolverhampton in the UK.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
with you being out in Norway, how did you find out about the Sanctuary of Sophia then, and how did you find yourself on the womb apprenticeship?
Yeah, that's a bit of a story actually. I was traveling to Glastonbury
Right.
with a very special sister that held a retreat there that I had been invited to. And I was actually standing in line in this cafe, a very sweet little place. I don't remember the name. And there was like this huge counter, and I
Yeah.
was standing in line, and it was just all these leaflets. And a little bit behind something, I felt it before I saw it, and I just took up this, and it was a leaflet about the apprenticeship. And I touched nothing else. It was totally like, oh, this. And I didn't even read anything. I just knew that this is for me.
Wow.
And I sent a message to Angie right away, like an email. And then she replied quite quickly. And we actually managed to meet in that same cafe like 2 days later. I met her in person, and I was already very like connected to my intuition at the time. It was super like I was very like, this is it. Like I didn't need really to ask any questions, but it was a very beautiful meeting with Angie, and it's been an incredible journey for me to, yeah, to have that sisterhood and to meet all of you, and to, yeah, to have like a mystery school and someone to connect to that is so deeply into to the story of the feminine power, to know and learn, uh, and everything that I've been drawn to. I had a very big shift in my life in 2017, where I moved from being my human, like to being in the consciousness of I am this human, to shift in from one moment to the next. Everything was like aligning inside of me, and I just remembered who I am behind everything, behind all of that. So I suddenly remembered what I call like my eternal self, the oneness, and that shifted, my whole uh, way of being human forever. And since then, everything that attracted me was always things that would help me to know myself more, and not something that was teaching any kind of method or any, it was not. So everything that I was attracted to move into was things that helped me to connect to my truth and my own voice,
Yeah.
not anything that was made to teach you a way to do something.
Yeah.
It was all things that was showing me how to be more myself and to walk my own way.
I love that. It's given us the tools to connect deeper into ourselves, and Yeah, I like the way you put that. We're not being taught any specific way, so it's not like a generic thing that we're all being taught the same. We're all being taught how to be just ourselves, aren't we? This self-awareness we were talking about before the recording started. And you were saying that this was a big part of something that you were trying to call into your life. You were calling in this knowledge, of self-knowledge. How can I know myself? Do you want to speak a little bit about that and how the apprenticeship gave you a way of finding that discovering self-awareness?
Yeah, so I want to acknowledge everything about the journey and how the apprenticeship was a very beautiful part of everything. And it's still living inside. And it came to me, like really perfectly like that. But it's for me, the apprenticeship doesn't differ from life. Like it's just part of it. It's part of the circulation. And I don't know when the prayer came to me, but at some point I started praying very deeply to get to know myself. Like it's one sentence that is in my prayers like every day, and it's like, I want to know myself, all that I am. And it led me, I feel this apprenticeship also came as an answer to that prayer, because it is very, and self-inquisitive. Is that an English word? Yeah.
Self-inquisitive. Yes.
Yeah, self-inquisitive journey
Mm.
with the medicine wheel. And I feel it was, yeah, it is still such beautiful tools and such beautiful structures to keep this ever ongoing. As long as I am, I keep getting to know more and more. And for me, in my journey where I am right now, is very much about getting to know this human being. Like, who am I as a human being? What am I here to share? What are my gifts? Like, really embracing that, because through the shift that I went through, I felt so alienated from. It was strange walking around in this world being so connected to oneness. And I still have that connection so strongly part of my reality. It is everything. And it also showed me now to be the human as well. At some when the shift came, there was such a wide gap between my eternal self and the human, because I really didn't know the human from before. I have a very traumatic story in this body. I've moved through so much. So I was at the moment where I also had this shift, I was living a very dissociated life. So I was literally kind of removed from my humanness. And I was always I came to this earth for humans. We are the most incredible thing to me. I'm so in awe of this species, the race that we are, like who we are as human beings, are just such a passion to me. I love us so deeply, and I always studied us since I was a very little child. I was, I guess all kids are sort of in this state where you learn from those around you. But I had this very, always this curiosity about humans. But until I had my shift, I was really feeling like I was studying around from everyone else from a perspective as if I was not there. Because I was not in my body, I could not study myself as a human being through myself. So I was more studying it from, this mind perspective.
Yeah, so was it psychology that you were interested in, or biology, how the human body works, or just all of it? What was it that fascinated you?
The movement of the humans, like how I was looking around me and just like studying everyone,
Mm.
how we were, like with our emotions, like how is these people reacting,
Mm.
like yeah, so not from studying through books, but studying through everyone that I met, and sitting at airports, traveling, meeting people, looking at them, just maybe like David Attenborough is like sitting there, and like watching the birds and the flowers, and
How they
I was there.
yeah.
Yeah, so fascinating, like, oh, la, la, this, oh, look at him now doing that and that. And I would be like that with my friends, like, oh, look at her now, she's going on this date, and I was like really, really curious.
Ah,
But I was not there, like I was not studying. But
you're like an
since I had my
observer.
shift, yes,
Wow, I love that.
yeah,
So then so you felt like a dissociation from the rest of humanity. It was like you were there as an observer, just
yeah.
studying and learning about this amazing species. I love that. And do you feel the same way about animals? Do you study animals in the same way?
I love animals. I'm connecting more and more to animal spirits are a big part of my life. Animals, like I really like also when I lived in Africa. I think when I lived in, mm, let me stop there for a moment. When I was a child, some of the most beautiful memories I have was also sitting on the kitchen table looking at the little birds,
Oh, yeah.
eating, and I feel like I was very much kind of feeling them.
Hmm.
Uh, but I've never been that drawn to animals as I am to humans. Like we had a dog and I loved it, and but I'm not like this, like super animal. I'm very much like humans, but I also, um, yeah, I'm definitely moving more and more as I get to know myself more. I also get to know animals more. I get to know, and I feel also my prayer is, because I am everything. So as I get to know myself more and more, I also get to know everything more. It's like I get to experience everything more. So I'm also, throughout the years, I'm more and more working with the animals, but I don't have that like fascination that I have with
Yeah,
with the humans.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm really interested because like your journey, you're saying that you were disconnected from humanity. So then from your own humanity, but then you felt this connection to your divinity and you
Yes.
felt this oneness and that, you felt that real connection to the web of life and the universe and all of that. So when you discovered the apprenticeship, did that help you to kind of merge those two together so that you became more connected to your body and your soul in your body and as a human being, on the earth and all of that? Did it help you to kind of merge those two things together?
Yes, very much so. So I feel the way that I had this shift and I remembered my divinity. I remembered who I am. Since then, it started moving
Yeah,
and finding the apprenticeship gave it really like a boost
yeah,
because also getting to know, I find very much when in a safe space. So being in that safe space, it was safe for so many parts of me that I would not see and that I would not meet in myself by just holding myself. They started slowly becoming more visible to me. So it was very much, yeah, like a boost. And I find that um, in those years, like I also met my beloved just a few months because before I started the apprenticeship, like I opened up. I had a very special experience with that because, like I told you, I was always, watching everyone else,
yeah,
for instance, my friends like going on dates and like as if everything. So I were never conscious of my wanting to be in a couple. I never wanted really so much to. Yeah, it was like I didn't really have any needs
Yeah.
before. And then I had a friend chat with a friend. This was years after I had my shift, and he was asking me. And honesty has also been so important for me. Like I want to know myself, and honesty and openness was really my values. And I so prayed to be like to really see myself, right? And I was talking to this friend of mine who actually used to also be a lover. We used to have an intimate relationship, and therefore he always asks me like, "Oh, how are your love life?" You know. Or even how is your sex life? And I was talking to him at that point. I'm like, oh, no, I don't. I know that's a field for me to work on, and I know that I will go into it. And but right now, and I'm not there. And I said, like, I can see there's a man for me. I really feel it in my bones. Maybe I'll meet him in like 10, 15 years. And I was talking about how happy I was being single and how it was perfect for me, and now I have all these things to work on. Uh, and yeah, really like how happy I am with this situation. And then the next day I'm walking in town, and I'm walking behind it.
Literally the next day after you were
Literally the
sober.
next day, yeah. And this is how it always comes to me. If I've said something that is not, like, it always comes back to me in this way. Like, here is something for you to see. And I was walking amongst these beautiful trees, huge trees in a park in Oslo, and suddenly I realized it. It's like, oh, wow, I could feel this longing in my body of wanting to be a partner, like wanting a partner in my life. And I could see how I can even feel it's touching now, I had never allowed myself to feel that longing, which I think is so present in all of us from like an instinct, from like the animal aspect of us as well, to actually have that sense of knowing someone and living intimately with someone. I think is a very human thing. And I had taken so, just not really not. So I had never felt it before. And suddenly as I was walking there, I felt this longing, and it was so soft, and it was such a beautiful experience to be able to just, oh, wow, there you are, and I could hold this longing, and I knew I didn't have to shift anything. And it was not like the longing took over and I needed to, find someone or change anything, but just to be with that in my life, and honoring it, and just feeling it. It was the most beautiful day. It was a very special day for me that I still remember. And I feel so, oh, you've been there, and I've totally neglected you. I've never seen you. And I just held it. And at that time, I used this way of prayer where I would every night cleanse my energy with cotton. So I had these little cottons, these little rolled up cottons that I used as kind of as offerings with my prayers. So I would put that cotton with my old energy and give it back to the earth as a prayer, and I would put it in the bark of trees very often. So it was like my currency, small little offerings, and I had those. And as I felt this, this longing, I sat down by one of those big trees, and I rolled some cottons, and I put them in the wood, and like said, the universe, like, now I'm ready. Like, whenever is the highest best time for me to meet someone, I am ready. And I said a few words about what I wanted in this partner, and I don't remember exactly, but two things I remember: that I want someone that can support me in everything I'm here to do in this lifetime, and I want him to know that there's nothing right or wrong. Those were like the two things that I remember, and I was not very specific. I was not very, I never had a list because I had never wanted a partner before on my conscious level. So yeah, and I think this was a Wednesday, And in the weekend, I met my beloved.
Wow.
So it was like, yeah. And some months after that, so this is, you asked whether the apprenticeship had helped me to become more embodied, really, and so much. And just a couple of, I think actually just a couple of weeks after I moved in with him, because I met him, and then 3 weeks later, like I moved in with him. And 2 weeks after that, I came to the apprenticeship. And I find opening up for love in that way, and opening up for a man that way, was like the biggest accelerator for uh, my embodiment. Yeah. And also that led me into motherhood, and which is of course like such
Yeah. Do you want to
embodiment journey.
continue the story then about your pregnancies, how they kind of wove into your experience with the apprenticeship as well?
Yeah. I really want to just honor the wombs, and the portal that it is, and the gratefulness I feel um, for everyone that has journeyed into the womb, because that is for me the place where it is all kept. Everything that was wanted from different aspects of the world for us to forget. So I just want to give thanks to my womb and to all the wombs, and for every woman that has chosen to journey into the womb, and also to all the men who do the same journey. But as we are here speaking to the sisters, because that was so, um, just such a big part of coming home to myself, is to embrace the feminine aspects. And also, to me, when we started learning about the lunar plexus and the alta major, and I was just like, whoa, I've never heard of these places before. And I started feeling into them, and just feeling this intense, like immense, beautiful, soft, incredible, dark power that lies there. And that is also really something I feel like, oh, I'm here to share this, because most of even my really priestess friends, they have not they have not heard about these uh, power centers in our bodies. Like, and it's so easy. It's so right here, it's like right here, like our chakras, and they're here. So easy to work with. And I didn't even know there was a name for it. And we know, the solar plexus so well. Everyone knows it. The doctors knows it. Everyone knows about it. So that was a bit out from your questions about the pregnancies,
No,
but it
that's okay.
wanted to be spoken. So when I met my beloved, I had never wanted kids. Like, I never wanted a partner. I never saw myself as a mother. I thought there was not, I thought, a cell in my body that wanted to be a mother throughout my whole life. And then I met my partner, and the first day we were spending together alone, we were talking about our children. Like, and when I was on the bus going back, I was like, huh? Did we speak about our children? And I also told him, like, and we didn't even speak about becoming a couple, uh, but they were there. And very quickly I realized, like, they are here. Like,
Yeah.
there is kids here.
We spoke about it the first time we met as well, and decided on Chloe, my eldest daughter's name, on that day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they are it's all, very much often they're there, and they let us know.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that was also something beautiful with my partnership. I find that we have like two agreements this far, and the one we made in the beginning, that we wanted to explore intimacy together, like intimacy in like the into me see kind of way, and we wanted to live in the here and now. And I feel that it's still like we never decided to be boyfriend and girlfriend, or we never decided to kind of go into any kind of thing, but we made that agreement, like that was what we wanted to do together. And then we said yes to become parents together. And that was also very special, because what I felt with this apprenticeship is that it's been so embodied. Like the journey has just been like laughingly embodied. I've felt like, wow, I'm living this course. Like if you see it as a course, which I don't really think always, but it was like, oh wow, but this is, so what happened also was, we go, for those who don't know about the apprenticeship, we follow the womb medicine wheel, and we go through the gates of the maiden and the mother lover, and then the crone, before we move around to the elements. And so after the first spiral, to clarify, I've been doing 3 years of following that with Angie and with you, Kerry, and other sisters. Now I'm on the 4th year, which is very special. I feel it is so special doing it this year as well, and I feel like I will always, as I live this life, this wheel would be with me. Like the wheel is in me, and of course it is like it's found in the womb, right? It's in me, and it's a very beautiful thing to be conscious of it, also with my beautiful mind and all that I am. And what happened was that I went through the mother lover for the first time, the spiral, and during that autumn, like, I knew our children were there, but I also knew I'm not ready. I'm not at all ready for this yet. And I remember I had a late period at one time, and I was praying like, oh, let me be alone in my body for at least 1 more year. I had this prayer that autumn, and then we came into the mother lover spiral, and I was just moving along with it in my own way. And I remember after Christmas, me and my mother have had a very beautiful relationship in one way, but without going into it, it's also been very complicated for many reasons. And who has not had a journey with their mother, or I guess. So we had things, and it has been very difficult for me to spend time with my mother, even though I wanted. There was so many things in my system that was really scared of spending time with her, and that was very frightened in her presence. And at the end of that spiral, towards Christmas, my mother asked, because my partner went to the Netherlands and I was at home alone in the cabin, and she asked me, like, she wanted to come visit. And I felt so happy. I was like, for the first time, I was so happy, and I really appreciated, and I had the sensation of looking forward to my mother would come, and I was really looking forward to spend time with her. And I was so grateful that I have a mother that wants to drive for 2 hours and come and just spend time with me.
Yeah.
And my mother has always wanted to spend time with me, but I have never been available for that. And to have that, I was looking forward to, and I felt like this is a point in my life that, like, this I will remember. And that was at the end of that spiral. And we had that visit, and it was very beautiful. Like, we connected, and I had a very, very nice time with my mother, and I was filled with love when she left. And only a couple of days after that, like, I knew that now I'm ready. And we were consciously calling in like our first son.
Wow, I love that.
So yeah, and to continue that embodiment as well. So then I got pregnant just after the mother lover spiral, and he was born in October, and that was, I think, one day after, so the first day of the new year of spiraling with the medicine wheel.
Yeah.
So the first day after the opening ceremony, I gave birth. So yeah, I went through the apprenticeship. I was held in that space through a very, very special time in my life.
Yeah.
Since I was pregnant for the first time, I became a mother for the first time. I got pregnant again, and that was like, yeah, the day we had the opening ceremony the second year was the same day I found out that I was pregnant again. Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. So you've gone through 2 of the spirals, carrying and creating life within you, and 2 spirals as a new mother.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So to have that, I think for me, I cannot imagine how it is to walk through that without having a sisterhood around me. And I think getting to know my womb has also shown me how crazily far we live away from what I think is the way of our species. No? Like as women, we are not created to live without being held of a circle of women.
Yeah.
And all kids are meant to be born into a circle of women, to be held by everyone and by the family. But the circle of women is the circle of life.
Yeah.
And that is not living. It is on earth, but it's very few places where we live it fully, where we have the lineages and we have that circle. And I think it's coming more and more. I see it, it's here, it's coming so much more and more. But I felt it in my body as well, that I have the circle of women. Like I had you, the sisters of the apprenticeship. I have, since I had already been working for a long time to get to know myself more. I also have attracted very loving, close relationships. So I had my sisters that I felt safe around, but they were not there. Like you were not there. So that was something I felt in the first time after my first postpartum time. I felt very supported, but I had a deep, deep longing in my bones of the sisters that were there. Like I was, where are you to listen to my stories of birth? Where are you to wash my sheets? Where are you to hold my baby so that he feels all these women that loves him, because he is new in the body. His body needs to feel the love of his aunties and his grandmothers and his mother's sister. He needs, like, where are my sisters? So that was a deep realization in my bones, how I had it, but I still didn't have it. Like I had it and it's here, but it was not my embodied experience in the moment there. Like they were not there physically. And that's the embodied experience, right? Yeah. And then I had a very beautiful, because we moved and I evolved, and things. So in my second postpartum, I did have the sisters. the sisters were here, the sisters were making tea, the sisters were holding me, the neighbors were cleaning my house, and they were there, and I'm like, oh wow, now I have it, now I experience this, that I did also call in. And then I could feel the longing in my bones of the grandmothers. Where are the lack of the grandmothers that have gone through all their initiations? I call them the integrated grandmothers. It's just a word that has come to me, but I feel the elder women that have really been held through all the initiations, that have been living and that have met, and that has not been the way for many, 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 many years on earth. Maybe like a few places where there is elders in, nature religions and the lineages that has never been broken, but it's not the most common. So I find that most women in this day are carrying different aspects, that it's not like their whole being has grown into an elder. But I got the experience of having those in many different ways. Also through the apprenticeship, I had you there. I had Angie, that has done so much work. I met with this other woman that came into my life, also very, very present, very integrated, very embodied. And surprisingly, what maybe hold me the most and was really beautiful was that I remember that I can connect to the grandmother that I'm becoming. So I felt really supported of my own grandmother energy.
Amazing. Oh God, there was so much in that. Through your story, when you were saying about when you met with your partner and you were talking about intimacy, into me see, I'd never heard of that before. That gave me goosebumps. That was amazing. I could listen, honestly, I really think I could listen to you speak for hours about your experiences and the way that you articulate yourself and what you've been through is just so beautiful, really is. Um, thank you so much for sharing all of that story. I wonder if you've got time, because you mentioned that you are a writer, and I didn't know that. So do you mind talking a little bit just before we finish about your writing and what it is you are creating in that respect?
So I am a writer of spirit. I feel like, as I was saying, I'm getting to know more and more my human, like my the human woman that I am. And she writes. So I've been writing since I was a very little child, and writing was always there. And as you were giving me those reflections right now, I also felt like I'm a storyteller, which was something that I've known but not really put words to before. It's like, I'm a storyteller. And I have a project, like I feel many books in my womb, and I have had such problems with creating, and that's also something that my children, or I could go into a lot of things, but my children has helped me to open my creative portal, and now I feel it's flowing more and more, and there is a story that I'm writing about the experience of living human as me. And like I said, I'm so curious about the humans. So to get to know other humans is such a gift to me. When people share from their openness and their honesty, and that's also what attracts me in being in like an intimate, loving relationship with my beloved, is also that how that is for me a potential to live many, many years together in that way, to have an experience of how it is to live as someone else. Because that is something, I remember I heard a story when I was very young of someone telling something their baby said, like their child had said, "Oh, daddy, you cannot think in my head." And that stuck with me. And then I was like, oh, but yeah, because I would never know how it is to experience Kerry, like to experience how it is to be you fully. I would not know, but I am experienced this. And the more I can experience me, all me, and know, the more I can kind of know you, and the more you open yourself up, the more I can see and have that experience of you. I can experience you because I can be in relation to you
Yeah.
and feeling you, you know. Uh, yeah. So it came off from my writing,
Yeah.
but my writing is definitely. I have a lot of projects coming. I want to share this because a part of it. Right now, I write every day. I finish a text, and I post it on Facebook.
Okay.
Just like a natural rhythm, every day I post whatever is alive. And I was really wondering, like, why am I doing this? And it's an experience in being visible as well. It's a very beautiful experience in experiencing how me being is creating ripples. And for the ripples to be visible to me, I have to be visible.
Yeah.
So that's where my writing is moving at the moment. And I'm also working on my book. And I have this, I think I'm gonna, yeah, I love storytelling. So I'm kind of envisioning, I feel my womb has this picture of, me sitting in a chair reading this book, and for people to be allowed to listen if they want, to just like kind of have it like that.
And you'll
Yeah.
publish it. The plan is that you're going to publish it.
No, I would like to just read it to people,
Ah,
and then see where it's moved. Like first I want to, I'm about, I don't know how far, but the step I'm focusing on now is really like writing the book, and I want to finish it, and I'm doing that entirely for myself because I want to honor my story and I don't want to carry my story inside anymore.
yeah.
There is something there, like I want it just to move, to physically be moved out of me.
Yeah.
So I would do that, however. And then, we will see what happens with it. But I love having the project, and I love these pictures, and I love to know that I can do things however I want, because at some points I've always been like, oh, I really want things, or I want to be an author, I want to do this. And then I felt it's like, then I have to go through all these things that I don't want to do. And then I'm like, I really believe that we can do things. We can listen inside, and it will show us a way where we want to do all the steps.
Yeah. Just allowing it to be in the flow and to evolve in the cycle that you are, it will become part of that and ripple out in however it's meant to be.
It is. It is. And for me, I went from trying to live my life, and then I shifted, and I could see myself living life. Like, oh, I am moving without doing anything. There is, and then I could rather let myself be moved
Yeah.
with these beautiful currents.
Yeah.
And now I'm also entering into also like, oh, but I can also kind of choose to choose direction. It's like this beautiful flow of just being with everything. And then I can also like, oh, I want to explore this, like to actually kind of really, really embrace my free will. Like, what do I choose here? And where do I choose from? And then just see the experiences that come. Experience the experiences that come. And it's so incredibly, yeah, this journey of life is the most crazy, yeah, crazy, beautiful experience with all its facets. Like, really, I don't want to sound like someone that is just, flowing along with this happiness, because there is so much that you can call suffering, because it is experiences that feel so in the body, the discomfort and the sensations, the intense sensations we can feel that are so to hold, that takes so to hold. Can hold it, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to see that I can also hold them with ease, there is a way I can hold this with ease. Like, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
And if I don't hold it with ease, I don't hold it with ease. Kind of,
and that's okay as well.
and that's fine. However, however I do.
It's again, yeah.
Yeah, and it's all, that self-love, and that is what came with me with the shift I had in 2017. My conscious self, like my eternal self, was always there in love. So I would love myself through whatever I did, even if I had a lot of critics and a lot of things in the subconscious. My conscious thoughts were loving towards myself. And that made all the subconscious come, and still is coming so much that is not loving. But I can hold it because the conscious self is loving.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. I've really, really enjoyed talking with you. I really feel like I could sit and chat with you and just listen to you all day. And definitely, you are 100% an amazing storyteller. Um, I just really feel like drawn in to you, just like completely in the moment with you the whole time, forgetting that we're being recorded. And I've just really loved connecting with you and hearing your stories. So thank you so much, Elise, for coming on and for joining me. And I'd love to have you back again, if that would be okay with you.
Yes, I'm always open for invitations. Yes, definitely, Kerry. And I love talking to you too. And I'm so grateful you were so visible from the first time in the apprenticeship, and that we're still here now, like almost 4 years later, having this conversation. Is, yeah, to see, that's also a intimacy. That's also an intimacy to see each other grow in that way, and in that close circle. Because, in the apprenticeship, in these circles, these safe spaces, we are allowed to be honest and open.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm. Thank you for having been so open and honest, and for listening.
That was a big part of my journey as well, as being visible, and my voice in particular, finding my voice, and and putting it out there, and not just my voice, how I look as well, because I'm a bigger lady. That's been a big part of my healing journey, is, like you say, having those loving thoughts towards myself and my body. That's been a massive part of my journey. So yeah, it's about being seen, and just completely refusing to hold in any kind of shame whatsoever. That's me anyway.
And that's so interesting. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love
Thank
getting
you
to
for
know
seeing
you.
me. I really
Mm.
appreciate that you've seen me, and that you've followed me, and you've said some amazing things that have really um inspired me to keep going in times that I've felt like I don't really want to keep putting myself out there on social media, but people are seeing the real me, and that means a lot to me. So it's inspired me to keep going with your support as well.
Oh, so glad. So glad. Really grateful, and grateful for all the sisters that also have taken the time to listen to this.
Yeah.
It's it's an honor to know you through that.
Much love to you, darling.
All the best, laughter and joy.
Yeah. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
Thank you for joining us in this sacred space of When the Womb Speaks. If you felt something stir, soften or awaken within, we invite you to share this episode and leave a review. May these stories continue to awaken the healing within you, to speak your truth with courage and to walk in wisdom and grace. May you remember the power of your own womb's ancient song. You can find us at sanctuaryofsophia.co.uk and on social media. Until next time, keep listening to your womb. She is always speaking.